everybody, and welcome back to another episode of From BA to Broadway. You know who it is. It's me, it's Brennan, and I'm bringing you our general programming reminders. Folks, every Monday we are here with the main episode. Every Wednesday we are here with our mini-series, but today's Monday, so enough about that, folks. Today we are here. She's back again, folks. It is my dear friend, Miss Catherine Katy, the spaceship Geraghty.
Oh my God, what does that even mean?
I was gonna say rocket ship, but I think I said rocket ship for someone the other day, and then that's just what happened.
So the spaceship. Cool.
I'm wildly creative, didn't you know?
Yeah, that's the word I was gonna use for it.
Oh, for real?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Amazing. Katy, what's going on?
Nothing.
I haven't seen you in so long. Folks, this is going to be however amount of time of just pure Delulu.
Oh my God. No, neither one of us are okay. We are the owners of Delululemon right now.
That is true. And you know what? Delulu till is true. That's what I say. That's what I say nowadays.
I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Katy, this is your second time on the podcast.
It is.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
You get the second time guest questions this time around.
Wow.
First off, what's your favorite show?
Like musical? Or TV show?
Well, I mean, in the realm of theater, but I guess plays count too.
Oh, yeah, sure. Brooklyn is my favorite musical.
I have never heard of that in my life.
It's so fucking fierce. It was Eden Espinosa when she was like 12.
Crazy.
I mean, not 12. She was young, like a young adult. It's so good. I think there's only five or six people in it. The harmonies are like intense, and it's just like,
yeah.
No, like highly recommend. Look it up.
You love a 6-person harmony situation.
I really do. I love like just only the smallest amount of people possible squelting at the height of their ability.
Katy Geraghty of the hexachords.
Of hexachords fame. Hello.
And then question 2 is, what is your favorite theatrical experience you've ever been a part of?
Performing?
I mean, anything, I guess.
Well, you're getting vague questions. Jesus.
Like, what does your heart say? What's your initial
Well,
gut reaction?
I fucking hated it. It was a terrible night of theater for me and my... Brennan, shut up and let me finish.
Okay.
Like, for me and everyone in my cast, but opening preview of Groundhog Day, our stage stopped.
I was there.
Yeah, I know, you were there. These are for the people that were not there, Brennan.
Okay.
And...
We just hadn't talked about me in a while.
Yeah,
so
there you go.
Okay,
just
good.
jump right in. Your turn. Go ahead. The stage stopped for like 40 minutes. They had to take a second intermission. They bought everybody a round of drinks, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We ended up doing a staged kind of stage. We like ended up standing up at sometimes, like a concert.
Mm-hmm.
And it was terrible because like I got home. I mean, this is my Broadway debut.
Yeah.
I'm 22 years old. And to have that much adrenaline and then have to crash and then have to yank it back up again.
Yeah.
I literally like vomited for like 3 days because my body was like, I don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Heard.
Yeah. But it was a very cool night of theater that I wish that I was able to like be in the audience for because like, as I've heard, it was cool.
It was pretty cool.
It was terrible for us.
Yeah.
Or at least for me.
Okay.
But like, it was
valid.
It was something that I'll like never be able to,
Yeah.
That was my first Broadway performance.
It sure was.
It's all uphill from there.
It was magical. It really was.
Yeah.
It's all uphill from there.
I mean, it's got to be.
Please, dear God.
Please, God.
Oh, folks, today we're here to talk to you about the good old open quote, Broadway Body, close quote. Ever heard of that?
Yeah.
Here, it's I heard it's real, and it's a very measurable way to cast.
I guess. It's the same way that I feel about like a beach body. I'm like, if you are a body and you are on the beach, there you go.
Yeah.
That is the 2 things required.
Sha, dude.
So like being on Broadway and having a body are the 2 things required for that.
There you go. You heard it here first, folks.
That's it. End of podcast.
Amazing. Okay. Well, as always, you can find us on most social media platforms. Yeah, I mean, it's something that you just face right away. Immediately, I feel like,
Yeah.
Even in high school theater, it's...
Yeah. I mean, I had this like, I think the first conversation that I had about my body, I was probably like 9.
Mm-hmm.
Just because like, I grew up in Boston doing theater professionally as a kid. And like the first time that I ever had to talk about it wasn't necessarily that I was like fat and that I couldn't do something because I was fat.
Yeah.
Which I also use that word very flippantly for everybody who's listening. Like, I don't carry a connotation. I apologize for your trigger if that is your case.
Yes.
But I will be using it pretty often. To me, it's just an adjective. And if it's negative and you're being an asshole and making it negative, then you're an asshole.
There you go.
Anyway, but I was... It was basically like I wasn't allowed to play like a boy anymore because all of a sudden I did not look androgynous as a child.
Mm-hmm.
Like beginning buds of breasts, like a slightly tapered waist. And it really wasn't even just like, I just didn't look like you didn't know about like what that gender was, Not that that's fucking real anyway, but like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying.
Of
I
course.
couldn't play Tiny Tim because I looked like a little girl.
Tiny Tim, they, them.
I know. Iconic.
Yeah.
But like, that was the first time that I ever had to like have that conversation about my body.
Yeah.
And to me, it was just like sad because like it's not like I didn't get it.
Oh, for sure.
And they were being very kind about it.
Mhm.
And it was never like, it wasn't even said in like a bad or derogatory way.
Yeah.
I think because I was working so young, everyone was always very matter of fact with me.
Mhm.
And like, maybe that's one of the reasons that it didn't carry such like a crazy emotional weight.
Yeah.
But immediately after that is the first time that I got cast as Little Red.
Amazing.
Yeah. And then like, to me, I was like, oh, okay, this is something that gets me cast, not
Yes.
the opposite.
Understood.
And it was just like the right time with not a lot of self-preservation yet because I was 9.
Yeah.
And it was the first time that I really fell in love with like Into the Woods and Little Red. And, she got to eat on stage. She was funny. She was
Mhm.
sassy. She felt like me.
Yeah.
So it was the first time that like my body kind of, shepherded me into a role that felt like me.
Yeah. That rocks.
Yeah. So I got really, really lucky.
I mean,
Like, that's insanely lucky.
you're also very talented. So.
Well, yeah, obviously. But like, I just mean, but like, so are a lot of people. And
Yeah.
those people still have teachers that just want to like absolutely ruin their lives.
Of course.
And like, I did not.
Well, also, like, the time that, like, this all comes into play is typically right when you start to enter your teenage years, when you
Mhm.
are most formative and you are going
Right.
through all of these changes and the most
Right.
self-conscious. And then you also then enter the lovely stereotype of the stupid tenor
Mhm.
boy
Mhm.
or the stupid the High School Musical
Yes.
boy, like, just getting cast because he's handsome and athletic and all of that shit,
Right,
and
right.
it's just all this really fun culmination of time that's not ironic at all. No. And then you get thrust into that real world
Yeah.
with all those fun college professors. I've talked about this a lot in the past couple of weeks, that like when you're in college, like you only exist really in the microcosm of what that program is, and not
Mhm.
you're not necessarily playing what you will be playing afterwards,
Yes.
Did you feel like, we went to school together, folks, if you haven't listened to our last episode.
We did. Yeah, we gave no context. This is terrible.
Well, that was the first time guest question. So if you didn't listen to that, shame on you.
You should.
Yeah,
Talk
actually,
about resumes.
and it was wild. A week or two afterwards, I was doing a front desk shift, and someone came to check in, and they were like, "Wait, are you on a podcast of some sort?" And I was like, "Yeah, I am." And she's like, "Oh, no way. I listened to the episode about resumes the other day, and I redid my resume, and I immediately got a call back." And I was like,
Iconic. Whoever you are, congratulations, and you are welcome.
"Yeah." I was like,
hello?
"God, inflate my ego."
Yeah, right?
Hell yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, folks, go listen to that. Anywho, yeah, we went to college together.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting program.
Mm-hmm.
How did you exist in that?
Well, UMass, like, famously kind of hates musical theater.
Yeah.
And it was always like, that was my first and foremost, the fight that I was fighting.
Yeah.
Was that I was like, no, I will be doing musical theater. Thank you
Mhm.
very much. So, like, I don't even know that I got into the conversations about, like, typecasting and,
Mhm.
like, sizeism in theater and fat phobia and all of these things and anti-fat bias, I hitting all the trigger words.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think that I even got around to that fight
Hard-
because I was just like, will you people let me sing? Good Lord. Like, it was
Just let me sing.
truly, oh my God. Like, I don't know. I feel like there was another fight going on, which was honestly like a refreshing
Hard.
change of pace.
Yeah.
But I think, like, I didn't really have that issue. Yeah, honestly, now, like, the more that I'm thinking about it, I didn't really have that issue in college, which is great.
Yeah,
And that was a fairly diverse theater program.
it was. For
that, like,
sure.
a lot of people were cast in many, many different ways.
Yes.
And that was, like, great.
I will say, I do think when I look back on it, I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I mean, I never did a show with the department. That was
Mhm.
never something that I felt inspired to do.
Mm-hmm.
But like, even in class and stuff, I feel like the material and stuff that I was given was
Mhm.
pretty wide in range, and
Yeah.
things that I at least felt like were me, or like things that I could do that might not necessarily always be in the realm of how they cast it or whatever. So I was
Yeah.
like, that was actually really cool.
They
and
were very, like, throw some spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks.
For sure.
Like, they would let you try.
yeah,
Yeah.
which is nice.
Mm-hmm. But not sing.
Oh, God.
Try, but not sing.
Absolutely not. You think you're going to make a career in musical theater?
No, forget
You,
about it.
Broadway's-
It won't happen.
Broadway's Katy Geraghty? But yeah, how many shows did you do with our theater department?
2.
Okay.
Yeah, I did Violet and I did Peter Pan.
They did Violet?
Yeah.
Oh, that's wild.
That was my first semester, freshman year.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Rock and roll.
Yeah, lived my best life as little Vi in overalls and pigtails and didn't do anything except run around scream.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I did all of my shows with the Guild, which
Ooh.
once again was more free with casting, but also I feel like we were limited with what we had for sure.
Yeah.
You know, it was a very specific group of people.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone had very specific talents and whatnot, and they kind of just had to piece it together.
Yeah.
Each time accordingly.
Because also, like, I think about, you know, like the way that high school theater programs do this and like how much it pisses people off where it's like they pick shows that are already pre-cast is like an argument that is made.
Yeah.
But I mean, because like we've been a part of the process where it's like nominating shows and you can't nominate a show that there's nowhere looking around the actors to do that show.
Yes.
Yes, you have to already have it kind of in your head just to know that you have the people necessary.
Yes.
And then after that, great. See what happens.
For sure.
Everyone should get cast, like, in the best of their ability, whatever.
Of course.
But, like, you can't just blindly say, like, I want to do this show and we'll figure it out. Like,
no.
If you don't have Elle Woods, you can't do Legally Blonde. You can't.
You can't.
Like,
but we did.
But we did. Although, honestly, like, I'm thrilled. Like, Nikki was amazing. We love her. Shout out. But everyone auditioning for Elle was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
This is going to be a very difficult decision.
That was fierce.
It was so fierce.
That was really fierce.
Ugh, she was so good.
Yeah.
Everyone was so good.
Everyone was so good.
That whole cast was so well
still
cast.
one of the like easiest processes that I've ever been a part of. Not in the sense that the material was easy, but
because I'm a tyrant.
But no, like we walked in on day one for that read through, and everyone knew their shit. Everyone was exactly correct, and I was like, "Damn, this is pretty."
Oh,
cool.
I can cast a musical.
Yeah,
like hell yeah.
You should do that more.
I want to
do it.
Yeah,
just do it.
Yeah, because that takes no time or money or planning.
Make a call.
Right.
Yeah.
A singular call.
Have my mom do it. She'll get you there.
Sure.
It's so early. I've fucked up my sleep schedule so badly.
I just can't. I cannot sleep. I haven't slept in weeks. It's a slay.
I'm living on caffeine and a dream, but also
mine's like
a bad one.
Lighter fluid and a prayer.
Like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
So yeah, then we enter this lovely shiny industry, the big white way that is just not superficial at all.
Nor.
And is so there for equal opportunity employment and magical.
Yeah.
And that was a joke. Yeah, it's a shit show. It's a shit storm. I was just thinking back the other day when I started thinking about this episode, and I was like, I've seen some very interesting listings in my day. And as of lately, I've been seeing a lot of ones that say that the actor must be quote unquote fit. That's I feel like that's the new.
It's also the word attractive. Like I've seen that more and more lately, and I'm like, what does that fucking mean?
Honestly, if you're confident enough to submit,
and you know
for
what, that
role,
would be me. I would kick that door straight down.
Listen,
like, excuse me, I'm so attractive.
Literally, yeah. I'm like, it's a new word that I'm seeing a lot, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Just say you want someone ripped. I don't know.
Get right.
Yeah.
Like, if you are going to be that superficial, then, like, just fucking say it. Like, I don't fucking care.
For sure.
That's also the part that it's like, I think everybody's really, I hate to use the word precious because I feel like people use that so, like, combatively lately. But, like, I'm like, I would rather that you just put your asshole cards on the table.
Please.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, none of us are as sensitive as they think we are.
No.
And I think that that's insane.
Yeah.
Because then that makes you feel crazy and sensitive.
Of course.
Like, the gaslighting is insane.
And we're not crazy nor sensitive.
No.
Absolutely not.
Never had a feeling in my life.
We are so neurotypical. Our emotions in check.
We got them. Ready to go. Locked and loaded.
Fuck.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. It's, who are they trying to fool?
I don't know. And I'm like, I think it's really strange because, like, when you see these casting notices, I wish that more people who are casting, more directors, whoever it is that has, like, the most upper say, which is literally different in every single room, as I found. Right. That they just, like, were willing to have their minds changed.
Yeah.
More. Because, like, get that, like, casting is fast. You have a timeline. You have a project. There's a lot of people breathing down your neck. You have a lot of, like, money on the line, all of these things. But, like, it just seems it's such a small-minded way of making art.
For sure. And I think, like, you do hear, like, the stories where they're like, oh, casting doesn't know what they want until they see it. And you hear all of these things, which, like, sometimes is true. But it's like, at what risk are you willing to take to, like, do that? Like, are you submitting for things that aren't calling for you on paper or whatever, or that are calling for a very specific thing that you know that outside of that you could fucking kill if it wasn't just for those words that are on that page, you know?
Right.
Are we doing that?
I don't know.
I don't know. I think some people might
Some
be.
people are. That's the nice thing. But I feel like it's just like I have two instances in my head that like that I just played and one that I know that I am like the choice for.
Yeah.
Both are still in their developmental stages. But one of them, it's a movie that I love. And it's like 3 women. And there's like the obvious ingenue. There's like the comedic character.
Yeah.
That is played by somebody that I'll tell you afterwards. But so you get what I mean. And then like there's like the hot one.
Yeah.
And at first I thought that I was going to be, because they were like, no, you're in the show. We've always thought that you were in the show. And we all had it in our minds that I was going to be the comedic one.
Yeah.
And then they realized that that role was actually better suited to be a bit on the older side.
Okay.
So then I was like, oh, that sucks. Like, I'm not in the show anymore. And that was just like me.
Because you couldn't be on the older side.
Well, yeah, because I can't. Like, that's just not, I'm not.
No.
I wish I could be, but
No,
I
you're not
look
old.
like a ripe child.
You're
so
not-
like,
you're not
it's
old.
fine. Right, I'm not. I don't like the sarcasm, Brennan. Fuck you. I am 30 years old and a spring chicken.
Katie, this is months of just sarcasm and jokes built up,
I
okay?
know, truly. Like,
the dam
I'm
is
a
ready to
spring
burst.
chicken. Anyway, so of course I'm thinking like, oh, that sucks. I'm not going to be in the show anymore. And then I get my offer for the reading and I was like, who the hell am I going to be? And I open it up and I'm like, oh my God, am I the hot one?
Hell
And
yeah.
I was. And I walked in just being like so ready to rage. And
Yeah.
everyone, like, I had, you start seeing a lot of the same like powers that be come to all of these readings. And everyone came up to me afterwards and they were like, that was a delight
Yeah.
to see you be able to do that. And they were like, and also it's funny because like, I don't remember who said this to me, but they were like, that's actually more you than I think I've ever seen you be.
Amazing.
It's like, you're welcome. Because I'm hot. That's
It's all
why.
about the confidence.
Correct.
Folks. Like, if you know you can do it, you just got to go in confident.
Plus,
you know?
no one acts hot. It's not a skill set,
Well,
nor a type.
I don't know.
I hate what's happening here.
This is an audio medium. I'm implying that I act hot is what I am doing, folks.
Yeah, it's really working.
And
as you can
it's a
tell.
bull-faced lie. It is a bull-faced lie.
It's not. But then the other one is one that my friend is writing, which is also a famous movie. And there is a part in it that I think everyone would be assuming that I'm going to play, but it is the other one. And he's like, no. It's all about sex appeal, and you were the first person I thought of.
Sick.
And I was like, yes.
Hell yeah.
But I don't necessarily love that all of those things are awarded to me simply because those people already know me. Like,
Okay.
I'm glad that they are happening. I'm glad that they see that skill set in me.
Yeah.
But why is a casting director that I don't know making the assumption that I'm not that
For sure.
before I even get the chance to show them that I am?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's the problem.
100%.
So, like, I'm glad that these things are happening, and more of me and me's on stage doing these roles will make it happen more. But it's like, it's completely bullshit to me that, like, I am awarded these opportunities simply because I've been around, I've, like, seen the people. And yes, I'm, like, right for them. I'm ready to do the work. But, like, I am no more fit to do these roles than X, Y, or Z.
Of course.
But I am the one that they're thinking of.
And there's like, I mean, there's also the added thing of like all the folks that are just entering this world, or the folks that like don't necessarily have their foot in the door quite yet, that are like, well, this is a whole mixed bag because of all of the societal whatever, the BS and whatnot, but also like, am I going to ruin my reputation by going in for things that I'm not asked for or whatnot and wasting their time, quote unquote? Like,
Right.
It's hard to muster up the courage to just say fuck it to all of those things, but I think you have to. I mean, I feel like this is just a business of fuck it, but also in this particular case, you really just gotta fight for yourself because who else is going to? You know?
Yes. I mean, there's a bit of just like being willing to have the audacity.
Oh yeah.
You know, and like, because that's what they're going to think. And like,
and that's what they have.
they're correct.
The gall.
Correct.
The gall, all these white men sitting behind the table. If they have the gall, you got to bring that gall right back to them. That's merch.
Yeah. Well, Well, I always say, I was like, if the Chads and the Brads of the world are allowed to walk around with that kind of audacity, you bet your ass I am.
Damn.
Are you kidding?
Sorry, Brad.
I'm not. I'm not sorry at all, Brad.
Well, yeah, no, that's so fair.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate it. You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's stupid.
It is stupid. I wish I had a 6-pack. Can I get that? No, I can't. I've tried. Oh, well.
Yeah. But like, why?
I don't know.
That's the funny thing is that like, I love having like the conversations with myself. And also, I honestly, there's nothing more than I love than like backing someone into their own anti-fat bias corner by continually asking why.
For sure.
And it's like outside of the fact that if you have a 6-pack, you are doing a decent amount of physical work.
Mm-hmm.
And that means that you are a certain level of the word that we hate, fit.
Of course.
Air quotes. That's it. That's all that it actually is adding to your life.
Yeah.
But also most of the time to have that kind of definition, you're also not eating enough.
No.
So
No,
like
no, no.
it's not technically healthy.
No.
So like what is it doing to you other than making you less healthy?
Yeah.
For what? A bulge of skin? That's weird. But like that's what it literally fucking
paycheck,
is.
A job.
Right.
Literally.
Right. But
yeah.
like that's when it gets like bullshit. But like for
No,
you
totally.
alone, it's
Yeah.
not doing a damn thing.
No. No. Am I mentally healthy enough to have these conversations right now? Who's to say? Who's to say?
You know, I think we both are not, but we're going to do it anyway.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, my brain is going in a million places at once.
We also gabbed about, like, we haven't seen each other in a minute, me and Brennan,
Yeah.
all the listeners.
For sure.
So we've gabbed, and now I think we both feel crazy.
Yeah, I think the key of it all is, like, how do you change those perspectives? Like,
Mhm.
how do you do that? And, like, what is that one time that you have to do it in order to unlock the rest of them? Or at least unlock the fact that it is possible to do that for yourself. I feel like it's a more like yourself thing. Like you have to convince yourself that you are able to do this and change these minds and change these perspectives as to what roles can be and all of that jazz. And like, granted, that also like extends to gender and voice type and all of that kind of stuff as well. But it's like this industry is just so, I don't want to say gate kept. That doesn't feel like I mean, it is, but
is,
in other
yeah.
ways. But like the gates are like truly just so locked, and it's a matter of how do I freaking. I feel like it's that scene in Monty Python with the French.
It's very that.
The French guards up top, and you're like, I think I'm making sense.
Right.
I think I am making sense, and you just seem to.
Right.
You just seem to want to harass me a little bit.
Well,
I don't know.
Well, I think that it's just like I've never been a kind of person that questions the reasons that I may not have gotten cast when I've already gotten cast.
Yeah.
Because that seems like a terrible thing to do to
For sure.
yourself. Like,
For
why
sure.
would you do that? But like, I think that it has to do with like knowing what you bring.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, yes, I have played Tracy in what I usually say is because I'm fat and breathing.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason that I actually play Tracy is because I have a pop belt. I'm
Yeah.
an excellent dancer and I'm a comedic actor.
Mm-hmm.
So like, those are the reasons.
For sure.
And then I fit the dress.
Yeah.
So it's like, it was never something that was in my head because I was fat that I had to play this role.
Mm-hmm.
It was a role that I fell in love with. And I knew that I wouldn't actually have to fight because I looked right, quote unquote, for it, you know? And with every other role, like, I know that like I'm going to have to change some minds to feel this way, but I've just never really thought about it in like that person looks right.
Yeah.
That's just never been something that I assume when I'm thinking about roles that I would like to do. I'm not thinking about my looks.
For sure.
And I know that a lot of that is also like, because I have like small fat privilege, I have pretty fat privilege. And like to kind of break that down, like small fat is just like different categories of like what exists when somebody says like, this is a fat person.
Mm-hmm.
Like it can literally have to do with dress size. And like on this, I am usually on the smaller side of plus sizes and on the higher side of straight sizes, but I can typically still walk into any store and find at least something that will fit me in there, which is a small fat privilege.
Understood.
And I see that and hear that. I also have like, again, harsh air quotes around this, like a desirable body shape.
Heard.
Like I'm still very hourglass.
Yeah.
Like there's obviously so much extra there, but like I'm still like the shape that people want. And also that clothes are made for.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, you know, as humbly as I can say it, I'm quite pretty. So like there is, stop laughing at me.
I'm not. I'm smiling at my pretty friend.
My pretty friend. But like there's a lot of allowances that I have in all of those things.
Yeah.
Because it's like the same thing as like the lightest skin person of color. where it's like, well, that's allowed because she's, or they, or whoever it is like presentable because they're not like very melanated. They're still like the whitewashing version of that. And I am like the small version of that, you know?
Yeah.
So I know that I have a lot of privilege in the audacity that I carry.
Yeah.
But I just have never, ever, ever let myself think about my looks for a reason that I want to do something.
For sure.
Because that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
Especially, I'm going to go on a tangent. Like,
Go for it.
I actually don't understand why we've allowed ourselves to hinge so much of our own self-worth, so much of our identity, so much of whatever else you want to go in that direction on something we have no control over the fact that it will change.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
No one is ever going to look exactly the same their entire life. It's not possible.
No.
Even with the most like plastic whatever, then you're just going to start looking crazy.
Oh,
like,
of course.
You know, then like people do crazy shit to try to attempt that. But like it is the one thing that you know will change.
Yeah.
And you're going to base your own character on that?
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I said this before, and like, it's a hard thing to say this right, but like, I don't agree with any of this. I'm just saying like, this is how it was talked about around me. But like, my proximity to attractiveness was never close.
Heard.
No one ever, because I wasn't a size 8 and they're like, if you were just a size 6.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't like if you were just. And I feel like that is a really difficult thing because it was never anywhere near something that I was going to achieve.
Yeah.
So I didn't fucking care about it.
Heard.
Ever. Because it wasn't an achievable goal without really hurting myself in the process.
Yeah.
And that never felt like something enticing to me. And in some ways that's like kind of Lululemon, but like, but because I was nowhere near it, it was never a goal I was looking to achieve.
Yeah.
And because of that and not caring about that, I ended up being more attractive.
Boom.
But that's also just like people never thinking that I'm going to be the pretty one so they don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So I didn't have all of this like weight on my shoulders about like, it's the if you were just.
Yes.
That is a really difficult thing, especially in this industry.
For sure.
Because it's like if you just had 2 more inches, you could be a Rockette. If you just were 1 dress size smaller, you could be Glinda because you can fit in the dress. Mm-hmm. Like, that sucks to be that fucking close. And that's what people kill themselves over. But in that time that they then become that, 98% of the time, they still don't get it.
Yeah.
And that's bullshit.
It is bullshit. But also, you shouldn't have to change those things.
Correct. No one should have to. I'm saying it's bullshit. But like,
make a new fucking dress. I don't know.
Exactly. Don't get me started.
Okay,
listen, I don't want to be in Wicked ever until they put me in the bubble.
I was going to say, you're a Glinda through and through.
No, obviously. Yeah. And like, if they were like, I don't know, they can handle your weight. I'm like, my sister builds rockets. Like, she'll make it. Hello? I was like, you want math? I'll give you math.
You can't say that. You're going to get her fired.
Amy?
Yeah.
No, they know that she builds rockets. I just can't tell you which one.
Whoa.
All right.
Oh my God. Nobody's safe.
I know. Horrifying. Amy is my little sister, for those listening. Love her.
Shout out to Amy. Still haven't met you yet.
Shout out to Amy. What?
I still haven't met Amy yet.
That's demented.
I know. Doesn't make sense.
Well.
Someday.
We'll fix that.
It's a slow burn, is what it is.
Like, how many fucking years have we been friends? That's weird.
No kidding. Yeah, let's see. We're going on like almost 10 years. Next year will be 10 years. That's crazy.
That's heinous. We're old.
I know.
We're not old.
No, we're not old. I know, but like.
But time has passed.
Time has passed.
Yeah.
It's sure. And I'm ready for it to pass a little bit more.
Yeah, hello? Is anyone alive out there? Like, I just don't. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, in the realm of like trying to find the confidence in yourself and the way you fit into this world and this industry, I think community is everything, and surrounding yourselves with the right people and the people that are rooting for you. Because like, quite frankly, I will say for the most part, most of the people that I have met in this world are supportive in one way, shape or form of each other, you know?
Yeah.
Like, we're all going in for the same stuff. We're all in competition, quote unquote. But like, at the end of the day, like, if you're listening to someone fucking slay, like, you're going to be whooping and hollering. So like, I think. And
if you're not, let's talk about it in therapy.
Yes. Therapy. Oh my God.
Everyone, please go to therapy.
Please. I mean, first of all, yes, find the confidence in yourself through therapy, but also like put yourself in spaces where you are going to be raised up. You know, I feel like every class that I've taken thus far in the city has been such a safe and rewarding space, you know, to just enter and then do whatever you want to do and then receive praise, which like it sucks that this is something that can revolve around praise, but also like it's nice to feel validated and feel good at things, you know?
Not to mention, like, it's actually, you know, I don't know if you feel this way too, but like sometimes it really hits me that to literally sing is just something that has always existed inside of me.
Yeah.
I can hear a note and I can make it come out of my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And like that alone, and the fact that all of these people around us, that we can all do that, is fucking cool.
It's lovely.
Like,
it's so lovely.
Let's celebrate the fact that we are a weird percentage of the population that can do that at all.
Yeah.
You know?
There's some people that can't.
There sure are.
There's a lot of people that can't.
A lot of people that can't. And the same thing that like somebody being able to read a script and know how to make it funnier. That is something, again, that's like innate in me. I come from a very funny, witty family. And it took me such a long time to realize that comedy was a skill.
Yeah. Oh,
hello.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, most people are not.
No.
It's funny because
I feel bad. I feel bad.
Funny.
Yeah.
Correct.
I feel bad for them.
Yeah, same.
I wonder what those like gatherings are like for those people. Like,
I don't know.
Are they just not laughing?
Like they never laugh?
Yeah.
Good Lord, I don't want to be a part of that.
Or is it like a tiered kind of thing where like when you're
I don't know.
at that level of normalcy, then things are funnier and to each other?
Sure. But that's what I'm saying is that like there's also rooms where everyone's just like, oh, does anyone want to sing along with the song? And they don't know how.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Which also is like scientifically is mind boggling to me when I hear someone that like doesn't have a sense of pitch.
But also like tone deafness is rare.
Ooh.
Which is like the crazy part about all of it.
Interesting.
To genuinely be tone deaf is rarer than having perfect pitch.
That's crazy.
Statistically, yeah.
Wow.
I know.
Sorry, folks.
Yeah, right? Like,
so sorry. Wow, we're big ol' assholes right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fine. I hope people know we're nice by now.
People should know that I'm not nice by now.
I mean, yeah, but you're also nice when you need to be.
Sure.
Overall, you
nice,
are an
though.
approachable person, but you just don't have tolerance for bullshit.
That's yeah.
Which is lovely.
Put that on my tombstone.
That feels like it would be too many
lengthy.
Yeah.
That's expensive.
I was about to say that's going to be pricey,
right.
so
I'm not gonna have a tombstone.
Everyone
get cremated. Good Lord.
Oh my God, yes. I really
flying through topics.
And listen, I mean,
I love it. From BA to Broadway.
These conversations can get really heavy, and I'm at the point where I'm like, they don't need to be like, this is just normal conversation. Let's make sure people should know this is normal conversation, and that's that.
Oh, yeah.
People are different shapes and sizes and lengths and heights and all of this jazz, you know?
Yes.
That's the world.
Yes.
So let's make this world fit the real world. I don't know. That's merch.
Put it on the t-shirt.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I don't know if it's just obviously the general self-hatred that's always hitting and whatnot, especially this time of year. But right now I'm in this place where I'm like trying to find the things that I feel like I want to do at some point in time, you know, and make sure that is known, you know? Granted, can I do those things right now? Who's to say? But like, it's something that I know that I could do at some point in time.
Right.
With the only thing changing being my skill, not my appearance.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like right now, I don't know if it's just the season of it all, but I'm on a big Fiero train right now. You know? I'm like, that feels good in my voice, and I don't look the way that they normally look, but I think that I can do it. And I think because of that, I should be able to. On Broadway.
Slay.
Because we can't give that show to the regional market.
Oh my God. I don't even...
No.
I have a lot of thoughts.
Yeah. Say them.
No.
Oh, okay.
We'll say them off mic after.
Okay, great. Folks, I'll secretly record them and put them in the bonus content.
Brennan.
Find it on Patreon. Yeah, it's just, you know? I hate it. I just like, I want folks to feel good about themselves. Yeah. That doesn't feel like too much to ask.
I also just like, I think that it's, my friend Taylor always says, she was like, how do you bottle that? Is something that she like
interesting
phrases a lot. And I really love that because then you have to think about it. And one of the things that have you ever played that like card game that's, what's it called? Like, We're Not Really Strangers.
Oh, yeah. Right.
So I have that, and I love like bringing it out when just like random groups of people are in my apartment.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is fun. Let's get messy.
Absolutely.
But I was playing it at an Anne Juliet cast members house with all of them. And one of them picked up the card and she looked at me and she kind of chuckled. And it's like, do you think that you see yourself the way that others see you?
Interesting.
And she said it to me and I was like, yes. And the whole room started laughing. And she was like, you are the only person I know that I fully believe you when you say that.
Yeah.
And that is one thing.
That's so true.
Right. And I really like that about myself. But that is the one thing that I don't know how to bottle. Like, I'm not sure what that is.
What that recipe is.
Correct. And like, that sucks because I would love to tell people.
Well, I don't think that feels like something that's not universal. You know, that doesn't feel like it has a specific recipe. That feels like it's so individualized and tailored in a way where like the only person that can figure it out is the person.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, it's interesting because like when you start to like have a new friend or a new relationship or whatever, and like I realized that I hadn't told my current partner like about a death that I experienced when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
And I like watched my best friend die, have a brain tumor when I was 6. And he like sat there and he was like, so many things about you make sense.
Heard.
And we were chatting about it and I really thought about it afterwards that like I've always been a little old for my age. I've always, you know, been smart and on it and like understood what was happening. And to understand something like that so young and see it with your own eyes and then immediately get into something as stupid as musical theater so soon afterwards, I think just kind of made me like very aware of what it all really was.
Yeah.
And, you know, I had a really dark moment right before the pandemic Lovato hit with musical theater, and both of which had things to do with size. And I remember during the pandemic, I was out kayaking.
Yeah.
And I had a cute Mentee bee in the open ocean.
Of course.
Great place. And I just realized that I was like, how fucking stupid is it that I feel this way about myself because of theater?
Yeah.
Because of a musical.
Truly.
It was almost like, in what world do I think that that is how I should be giving my energy?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Truly.
I was like, people don't have limbs. People are stuck in their brains and can't make noise. Like people get amputated with nothing that they like can't, they have no control over this. People, you know, have their bodily autonomy taken away.
Truly.
Like, and I'm allowing myself to be this fucked in the head because of a musical.
Yeah.
And it was such a it was like a really clarifying moment. And I had a ton of clarity, and like, it was like I slapped myself in the face.
For sure.
And like, I've always had, I know how to like fake it till I make it confidence before then. And since then, I've just like haven't even allowed it to like come into my head again.
I think something that I've been really overcoming and wrestling with lately is the idea like that my trauma and the things that I hate most about myself are not the most interesting things about me.
They are not.
I feel like that's something that is led a lot of people, including myself in life, being that like you're going to learn that like the lore and the first time you meet someone or the second time you meet someone, because that's like a central part of the identity. But like it doesn't need to be. There's like a particular friendship relationship that's like come into my life very recently where I'm like, oh, I've been hanging out with this person a lot, and there's like something that we haven't talked about yet that like would have been an initial conversation starter in many other existences in this past couple years of mine, where I just like, I'm like, oh, I actually haven't talked about that yet. And that is kind of really cool, because I feel like that means I'm existing a little bit more authentically in this space and in life. And I'm like, that feels like the kinds of people I need to be around, you know? And like, will it happen? Of course. And will it be explain a lot? For sure. But like, that doesn't need to be how I define myself.
Right. Because it's,
which is hard.
Right. And it's just like, I hate the phrase where it's like, because it is actually supposed to be to like give some leeway on how you feel about yourself, where it's like, you are a body, but you have a soul, is what people will say. And they think that that's the argument. And I'm like, no, you are a soul. You have a body.
That is, yeah.
Like, no, that's so fucking backwards. And I'm like, so close. We got so close, folks. But like, no, you are that soul and you have a body.
Yeah.
And like, if it's just something that you have as opposed to something that you are, that's the right way of looking at it.
The body's just a vehicle.
Correct.
It's a vehicle to just rattle around that little soul you got in there, for sure.
Yeah.
I like that. I really do.
Thank you. I'm super smart.
You are very smart.
Thanks.
I'm going to compliment you for a second now.
Wow.
So please block your ears if you need to. You are someone that has always been wise to me. Like, I have always come to you for wisdom in life, and your confidence is, whether it's real or not, who's to say, but like, it is something that is just so inspiring and effervescent and contagious in a way, which is just really admirable, you know?
Thank you.
You know, just as a human, like, that's unfathomable to me, you know? So I'm
honestly,
very grateful for you in so many ways.
Thank you. I love you.
Love you too.
But to me, it's always also been like, well, what's the fucking alternative?
Yeah.
And I have no interest in that.
No, life is not more fun that way. Life is not more interesting that way.
I'm having a
Like,
blast.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. You should.
Yeah. Just saying fuck it all the time.
Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Love
Fuck it. Fuck you. Fuck.
All of the
Fuck.
expletives.
Insert the.
Whatever you
yeah,
need to
fill
insert.
in the blank.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Wow. This is more existential than I thought it was gonna be, but
This is exactly as existential as I thought it was going to be.
good.
Honestly.
Good.
Yeah.
I also listened to all of the other podcasts too, and I'm like,
Thanks.
this is gonna be different.
It should.
Good.
But that's because, like, obviously I can talk this subject till I'm blue in the face.
Oh, of course.
But, like, I have so many things to say about it, and, like,
Yeah.
it just requires some different questions.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. Some different delusions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some different Lululemons.
And boy, do I got them. What is the role for you that you are ready to revolutionize for the world?
Honestly, Linda, like, and
Yeah.
I think it's just because it's so on our brains right now.
Of course.
But I saw Wicked fairly recently
Mm-hmm.
because a very dear friend is the standby right now. And I went and saw her Broadway debut as Elphaba.
Amazing.
And she was Slade, obviously. Slayed my whole existence. So when I saw Wicked, because I've always like joked around being like, oh man, like make me Glinda, blah, blah. But seeing it recently, I was like, oh no, it's a very good part for me.
Yeah.
Especially now feeling like, not a fully baked, because that's bold of me to assume, but like a full ass adult.
Mm-hmm.
And a full ass adult woman. I'm like, nope, I know what this is and I'm ready. Glinda's the one that I'm thinking of, and I know that we all hate like that they haven't been written yet, like answer
Oh, of course.
to roles, but like it kind of hasn't, just because I would like to play a part that would normally be, you know, the young, wafy, exactly what you think an ingenue looks like in your brain.
Mm-hmm.
That was always made for me, so that it's so tailor-made that no one is wondering why I'm fat,
Understood.
you know?
Yeah.
Because, like, yes, I would be a very pretty, like, Cinderella or, like, Millie or whatever, insert whatever you want in here.
Yeah.
But, like, it would have to be something that fits me so well that no one questions it at all.
Heard.
And that's the role that I really can't wait to play. I hope that it happens in my lifetime.
It will.
It will have to come from a writer that wrote it for me and someone that I know and trust, and like vice versa. To just because you can't, I always say that, like, when it has to do with like sizeism on stage, the role should be in spite of or draw full attention to it.
Yeah.
And I hope that there's a third option that's just like neither.
I think we're getting there.
I think we're getting there.
I do. I've also said this a lot, but like I feel like now that our generations are starting to take over the more production side of things, that we're starting to see a shift, or at least feel a shift, you know, which is nice. And also I'm also at the point where I'm like, fuck it. If it doesn't exist, let's just make it. Let's just make it, you know? Wherever we put it, who's to say? But it's out there in the ether, and what's meant to happen will happen with it.
It's also having more and more friends in casting that are like, oh, well, yeah, because Katy should, like, period, that's end. So it's having the people in your corner fighting for you.
Yes.
Is also really great. But, I mean, it feels like it's happening.
Yeah. And I want everyone to feel that, and I want everyone to find that community, because it exists, you know? Folks, you got to find those people. Find those people. We're all creatives out here. Literally, message me, message anyone. Ugh, I'm such a fan of the cold DM nowadays, you know? Just throw it out there. What do you got to lose?
I say this all the time. I'm like, my Instagram is available to you.
Yeah.
Like, I am ready to do whatever you need me to do. I am open to the conversations. You are not going to offend me.
For sure.
This is not too personal.
Yeah.
And if it is, I'm happy to say, like, this part I don't want to talk about. Like,
totally.
Ask me the questions.
Yeah.
I also, like, I don't mean to insult anyone when I say this, but I also think that it, you know, it would make a lot of people work a lot harder if the casting pool was wider,
Yeah.
unintended, because like people who have been pretty since the day they were born are not people that I tend to gravitate towards very much, simply because I find them really fucking boring.
For sure.
And like, it's something that I also like, I don't distrust them in like a violent way, but
Of
it's like,
course.
I don't know where your center comes from.
And like, I mean, this is a generalization, of course.
Yes.
But like, interesting things don't come from privilege.
Well fucking said, Brennan.
You know, interesting things
Yes.
don't come from privilege. And like, everyone has their struggles. I'm not going to diminish any of that, but like, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
That's very well said. You're kind of exploding my brain right now.
Thank you. And like, here I am, a cis white man, you know,
Yeah,
whatever.
sure.
But like, still, you know,
Yeah.
this industry is built on money. There's a lot of people that are coming from money and having money to spend on these programs and do all of this stuff too. And I'm like, those aren't the best actors I've ever seen.
Nope.
No.
Hardly ever.
Yeah.
Right.
There's the human connection that's missing most of the time.
Yes. And I just think that like it would be something that would open up a lot of people's possibility to talent that I'm sure that they just like, they've never had to unlock.
Yeah.
Because I think that was what happened when I was doing the reading where I was like the bombshell.
Yep.
Is that like I obviously took a very interesting direction with this role because I'm like, I don't know how to just stand there and be pretty.
Yeah.
Like, what is that? That sounds boring. Even if I could figure it out, why would I do that? Like, who cares?
Yeah.
So it just ended up being like bigger and more fun and more life because that's always how I work.
For sure.
And like, there's something about that where like, I want to see more people unleash more of themselves.
Yes.
Because I'm like, I think that there's so many boxes that you haven't opened because you've never had to.
Totally.
And first of all, it's like, I want that privilege to be let go of. But also I'm like, you don't even know what you're fucking capable of.
Yeah. There's so many people out there that would love to be doing this, but choose not to for various reasons. But like, folks, if you're out there and you don't think you can do this because of the way you look, then fuck that. Fuck that. You can.
You're also respectfully and lovingly and like as gently as I can say this, letting whoever it is that told you that was true win.
Yeah.
And fuck that.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Correct.
No.
They do not deserve that win.
Now, listen, if the reason that you feel like you can't do this is because you're not a good enough singer, that's fixable.
Yeah, train.
Yeah.
Train, baby, train.
Voice lessons, you know, if you feel like,
I'll give you some.
if you have two
Broadway
left
Plus,
feet,
hit me up. I am
yeah,
a teacher.
literally. Like the things that will hold you back should not have to do with your existence. You know, it should be a measurable something that is very fixable. You know, I don't think there is any person on this planet that cannot be in this world in some way, shape, or form.
Yep.
You know, so if people are telling you not to, fuck them, first of all. They're probably just scared. It's probably just them internalizing the fact that they didn't try and chase their dreams and they're...
Well, I've never been put down or diminished by someone who was happy with themselves.
Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth?
I'm like, this feels like a you problem. Like, but that's kind of always how it's felt to me.
Yeah.
Is like a maybe snarky snort to myself being like, you have damage. Like, what? This isn't about me.
Yeah.
This is not. Like, for whatever reason, I scare you, and that's fine. I'm happy to be scary. I like that about myself.
I
But
feel like once you acknowledge that for the first time, like that kind of unlocks that first gate where it's easier to put that filter over yourself, and you have this like you have your little radar of like, oh, this person's just miserable.
Yeah.
You know?
That's a very like, bless your heart.
Yeah. Oh, poor thing.
I hope that you get through your trauma.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or don't. Fucking die miserable. I don't care.
There we go. We got enough to worry about.
Listen, I'm like, there are some people that I hope die miserable, and I'm just saying that.
And there's some people that I know will. I know. Yeah, I know they will. I'm just hoping I'm not one of them. God, jeez.
Oh my God, no.
Yeah, no.
I wish nothing but love and light for you.
Yeah, folks. I mean, you can do this. I'll say that right now. You can do this.
It's just musical theater. Oh my God,
we're literally playing pretend and singing songs.
We are playing pretend.
We are doing all of those things that we all did as a kid, except we're doing it for our livelihood.
Yeah. I was doing a session that I can't say anything about because NDAs, but
Of course.
it was just like we were all kind of laughing when we were like there was a moment where all of us were like, this is what we're being paid a lot of money to do today.
Yeah.
And we could not stop laughing for a little while.
Which it's the reality of it. Like,
right. And that kind of job is what's going to change how you feel about yourself?
Exactly.
No.
No. Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Like, no.
No. I say just do it.
Mm-hmm.
This feels nice.
Even just to piss people off. I love pissing people off.
My God. Pettiness?
Fuels me.
Yeah.
Like, it is my hate fire.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Mm-hmm.
If they deserve it.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. Do it, folks. You know? Do you have any other words of wisdom you want to drop to these people?
My God, so much.
Any closing notes?
I think that there's a large part of performing that becomes your life.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is community. It is a passion. It is something that makes you want to wake up in the morning. Because, like, yes, we're all doing this as a job, but we are passionate about this job.
Yeah.
But that holds so much power because, like, so much of you is connected to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, like, beg and implore all of you to, like, make sure that whatever it is only changing you for the good.
Yes.
Because there's so much potential for disaster and, like, an abusive relationship.
Yes.
That you can find yourself in with all of this. And I have found myself at really low times. Hilariously, the lowest of times was when I was, like, the smallest I've ever been in my adult life.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I didn't know who the hell I was for those whole 2 months.
Yeah.
Also because, like, my body and my appearance were being talked about and noted, like, every fucking day.
Yeah.
And that was a really tough time for me. And I wish that in the moment I had been able to take a step backwards and realize how abusive all of this was.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, either have a conversation, quit, whatever it was. Like, the trauma that I had to undo after that experience, was, like, long.
Mm-hmm.
And it took a really long time. And I wish that I had woken up somewhere in the middle of that and had, like, the slap across the face that I needed.
Yeah.
And I just, like, I felt it so much the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
And much like when you find yourself in a situation that's, like, just manipulative,
mm-hmm.
you can gaslight yourself expertly.
Yeah.
And, like, please remind ourselves that we're so, so good at manipulating ourselves.
100%.
But, like, it is not worth it.
Yeah.
Musical theater is not worth trauma.
No.
It's not.
No.
And I hope that the vessel that carries you through this art form is just and only that.
Yes.
As opposed to what makes you think that you're supposed to be here.
Exactly. You got to trust your gut.
Yeah.
If you think something is wrong, it probably is.
Yeah, that. Very that.
If you cannot fully identify that yourselves, ask the people that know you best.
Yeah.
You know, ask the people that know the situation best. Like, really give yourself the credit for that.
Right.
Reach out, figure it out, take a night to sleep on it.
Mm-hmm.
Because let me tell you, I'm a reactionary boy. And that email is drafted the second I leave a space. And
sure.
It is inappropriate.
Yeah.
But truly, that's a fatal flaw.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, you got to trust yourself. You got to put yourself first. And you also have to acknowledge the fact that regression is a part of this. There will regression will happen, and you will take a couple steps back, and then you will take even more steps forward. And sometimes you're going to take many steps back for a long time. You know, that is okay.
Or just strange lateral moves that you feel are a step forward or back, and they are just in the same plane.
Like, very interesting. This is a different existence, and I quite identify what's happening.
Right.
But yeah.
Right. And I say a lot about, like, body positivity because, like, I can see how some people find it to be a sense of delusion.
Yeah.
But body positivity, this is a direct quote that I say often, is not having only good thoughts about your body. It is knowing that your body is good regardless of your thoughts.
There you go.
And that just means that, like, I will not be here and preach about the fact that I feel stunning every day of my existence because I don't.
Yeah.
No one does. That's crazy. Also because you would never be allowed to appreciate the days that you feel great if they happened every day.
That's exactly right.
But on the days that I don't feel great, I remind myself that everyone else is able to capitalize on this feeling and all it's doing is hurting me.
Yeah.
And also that, like, it's just today.
For
And
sure.
tomorrow is likely going to be better.
Yes.
And I'm allowed to forgive myself for that.
For sure. There you go, folks. Take that, run with it, walk with it. You're going to walk backwards with it, and that's okay. It's all a part of life. It's all a part of growth.
Right.
We are human. We
Yeah.
are human.
And we're so good at defending our friends.
Oh
but,
my
like,
God.
Be
Yeah.
your own friend.
100%.
Because like if it would piss you off
Mm-hmm.
if someone was doing that to your best friend,
Yeah.
then you have to allow yourself to be that amount of indignant on your own behalf.
100%.
And like, I know that it is not easy, but it is that simple.
Yes. And if you really are struggling with doing that for yourself, tell your friends, because they're
100%.
gonna fight for you, even if the person they have to fight is you.
Listen, I only hang out with hot people. I do not hang out with ugly
Well,
people. I just don't.
Duh.
Right. And
Like talented people as well, you know?
Correct.
Of course.
But honestly, what I was going to say is that like I barely have to open my mouth to defend myself
Yeah.
ever, because like my friends attack people,
Which is the best.
and it's iconic. And also like these are usually, especially my like female friends,
Mhm.
and these are some of like the hottest women of all time.
Mhm.
Like Brennan can attest. Like especially my female friends are stunning,
Absolutely.
and like they would all kill people.
Mm-hmm.
Like I usually have to be like, that's enough. Now you're just bullying this
Yeah.
person. Like we're okay. I'm fine. Like but I mean, they'll attack.
Put down the blade.
Yeah, truly, I'm like, it's fine. Please don't light this torch.
Yeah.
Like, God. But I think that like that is something that we just got to be willing to take up that fight for ourselves.
Yes. Fight for yourselves. And you know what? We're fighting for you.
Mm-hmm.
We're fighting for you. We're rooting for you.
Mm-hmm.
We are your biggest supporters.
Absolutely.
And you can be our biggest supporters by finding us
Brennan
on Patreon.
Wow.
Yeah. That is patreon.com/BA to Broadway. Folks, as always, we are not gatekeeping any vital information on there. That is for silly, fun, bonus content. You know, we're goons. We're silly, stupid people. And that is exactly what you're getting on there. So come on over. Come see us. As usual, you can find us on most social media platforms at BA to Broadway. Katie, where can folks find you if you want to be found?
I'm on the Instagram and the TikTok.
The Instagram.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that one.
You've never heard me say that?
No.
Oh, that's strange. Instagram is just my name. Yeah, it's just my name and with a period in the middle. And TikTok is just my name.
What?
And that's where I am. But honestly, like, please reach out.
Yeah.
Instagram DMs is the fastest way to reach me.
For sure.
And I check it the most often. But
Mhm.
like, this is something that like I always, like, no conversation is stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And if this is actually like, you know, I did study psychology in college, but like I don't have no
Among other things.
right, among other things, but like I have no degree to this or right to this, like, but there's also like I am happy to hop on like what you could be hiring me as like as coaching session, quote unquote, or even like you know, I think on my Broadway Plus there's like a Q&A
Yep.
portion, and like if you want to hop on and have a conversation, like if you need some very unofficial therapy
Of
to
course.
really talk about this, let's do it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Reach out, folks. Also, my DMs are open. I'm there. We're all there if you need. I think any guest that I've ever had on this show would be so happy to chat with you. You know, I would like to think that I'm surrounding myself by good enough people where, like, if there's anything that happens in any episode that you're like, oh, wait, that's setting off an alarm, please reach out to them, reach out to me, you know, whatever. We're all here for you.
Yeah.
This is a community that we are building here, and I'm really just happy to cultivate that if that is a space that you need. So there we go, folks. Katie, thank you for being here.
Thanks, babe.
I'm sure you'll be back.
Hell yeah.
And until next time, folks, bye. From BA to Broadway is created, produced, and edited by Brennan Stefanik, music by Dylan Kaufman, and cover art by Jordan Vongsithi.